the phone, guys. I can't believe what I just saw. I was just casually browsing PCGamer.com, more like PC Lamer, okay? I can't believe what they're passing off as journalism on this website, okay? We have an epidemic in this country of fake news, First, what? CNN, next, NPR, next, who's next? PC Gamer World. All right, guys, so before we get started, please take this moment to like the video and subscribe. Whatever helps the algorithm. Just give it what it wants. Anyway, check out this article that I just happened across, okay? I'm only a few hours into New World, but the grind is already frustrating. By Sarah James. Sarah, what do you know about running routes, Sarah? What do you know about running routes? I'm still waiting for that new MMO excitement. Sarah James, the game's in beta. You can't get any more new than that. You can't. It's not even out yet. I don't see how much more new do you want? I don't know. Let's see what she has to say, Sarah James. Jumping into a new MMO for the first time should be exciting. I totally agree. You can't beat the buzz and making it through the introductory quests when the world opens up before you and you get to explore a vast new world. I agree, Sarah James. All right, maybe she knows what she's talking about. Unfortunately, I'm 8 hours into New World and I haven't had that feeling yet. Sarah James, you put one workday into New World and you haven't had that feeling yet? 8 hours? That's Bush League, Sarah. That's Bush League. You start with a basic sword and shield, which would be fine if the combat and movement in general didn't feel quite so clunky. Sarah, I agreed with you when I first started playing New World, but then I just got used to it. I sucked it up, I saw other people, they were killing it. They were slaying shit, I got inspired to be better. And after 8 hours, you couldn't do that? Sarah James, your dodge ability doesn't seem particularly effective either. Disagree. Though that may improve as you upgrade specific stats or gear. In the meantime, I guess that's why you have a shield. What kind of journalism is this, man? This is the problem with America. We have an epidemic of fake news. We got an epidemic of bad journalism. I'd rather play a ranged class, though. And I was relieved to find a bow quite quickly. But much like Fraser's dilemma of needing bullets for his musket, I found I need arrows if I wanted to use it. Oh, so Sarah James is complaining that she needs arrows for a bow. Of course you need arrows for a bow, Sarah James. What else are you gonna use? Your poopsicles? What do you want? What do you want, Sarah? In World of Aeternum really is beautiful, I agree. Though you won't discover this until you leave the beach area where you first wash up. Disagree. From abandoned farmsteads to lush woodlands, there's plenty of screenshot material. Listen. Don't come into my MMO space with your Instagram loving hottie toddy, Sarah James, okay? And I was particularly struck by the housing style at Light's Hope, the first big settlement I encountered. The massive ship in the middle of town gives the whole place real character, and more importantly, gave me some incentive to play on to see what other settlements and areas had to offer. So the only reason Sarah James kept playing is to go sightseeing. I think I'm getting an idea of the type of person Sarah James is. On my way back to town, I abandoned the idea of using the bow purely because keeping track of arrow usage seems like a huge pain. I abandoned the idea of using the bow purely because keeping track of arrow usage. Bow and arrow. It's not bow and your fucking fighting spirit, Sarah. It's not bow and hopes and dreams, Sarah. It's bow and arrow, Sarah. You can't have one without the other. Jesus. They're checking my character sheet. Okay, someone plays D&D. To see what I could equip, I decided to concentrate my efforts on getting a fire staff instead. There were plenty of quests around the settlement, and I was introduced to the intensive crafting system giving me a use for the vast amounts of material I had acquired. But I soon discovered that I need a very specific material to craft my fire staff, so I resigned myself to continuing with sword and shield for the time being. Oh my gosh, Sarah! I'm so sorry. Sarah, I am so sorry that you had to play the game. I'm so sorry that you had to play the game and you were just handed a fire staff. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry that everyone around you didn't just get on their hands and knees and just fucking, here you go, Sarah James. Here's your fire staff, Sarah James. Quest sent me out of the Light's Hope settlement, but it was painful to venture into areas inhabited by the corrupted. I'm sure my awkwardness with the weapons didn't help. Enemies spawn with frightening regularity, and searching for quest items in areas highly populated by enemies means a lot of work, especially if other players aren't around to help thin them out. One particular quest required me to kill and loot a named enemy, located in a big tent with other corrupted nearby. I had to kill at least 3 or 4 of these to reach my target, but by the time I engaged him, the others started to respawn, so naturally, I died. When the same thing happened the next time, I learned my lesson and ran away. On the next attempt, I grouped up with another player, and we both died. You know how they say, stupid attracts stupid? It's the same thing with video game skill. Bad players usually attract bad players. And the vibe I'm getting from you, Sarah James, is you really don't like playing MMOs, or you don't like doing anything remotely difficult, searching for that sense of accomplishment. No, I treat your own, I guess, frustrated. I decided to abandon the quest and head back to town. One really big theme I'm picking up from this article, Sarah James, is how often you give up. You should have gave up on this article. This is when, to my surprise, I found a fire staff in my bag. Didn't even know she picked it up. What a fucking scrub, dude. Where did that come from? Excited for the first time since logging in the first 8 hours since I went to equip it, only to discover that I needed to be level 13. I was level 11. I was just level 11. Oh, God. What am I going to do? Play the game? Am I going to play the game? After looking through some of the quests on the town project board, I settled on some reasonably tame-looking fetch quests nearby. I was hugely resentful that the game was forcing me to grind levels so early just to equip my weapon of choice. Oh my God, why do you make me earn things, game? Why do you make me earn things I want to do in a game? Oh, Sarah James, you need a big ice cream. I'm almost level 13 now, and I hope to begin my new world journey properly and in the way I want to play it. I want to play this game this way. I'm fully aware that it's too early to judge the game as a whole, but I usually find some excitement to push me through the early stages of most MMOs. So far, New World just seems incredibly grindy and frustrating, made worse by certain weapons seemingly locked behind level requirements. Oh my God. No MMO in the history of MMOs has ever had weapons with a level requirement. Not a single goddamn one, Sarah James. I'm with you. I'm sure I've barely brushed the surface on what Amazon's MMO has to offer. I just didn't expect to have to do so much. I didn't expect to have to do so much to unlock a play style I might enjoy. Sarah James. When not writing guides, Sarah spends most of her time immersed in MMOs. Likely story. One day, she hopes to play through the ending of Final Fantasy X without breaking down in a sobbing emotional wreck. She probably has more wolves than you in Valheim. Doubt it. There's a lot to break down with this Sarah James character. Yeah, I think the article speaks for itself. Absolutely trash, garbage, journalism. Basically, it's just one big article of crying, hissy baby fits. She didn't want to put in the work to earn anything in an MMO, and she's not having a good time because things weren't handed to her on a silver platter. I'm sorry for your experience, Sarah James, but maybe you should stick with the hand-holding simulators from now on. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, hit the subscribe button and the like button, and maybe leave a comment. Give the algorithm what it wants.
Olive croutons!